Alrighty, hey, yo, what is up, knights? It's just Rick here, back with some more DFO. And in this video, guys, we're going to be doing some weekly content, or content that you can only do, well, a certain amount of times in the week, and it's new, brand new stuff that we got in the last update. Now, it wasn't a big focus, but it should be for you because there's a lot of useful stuff that you get out of it. If you check here, you have access to this Joe Ferrero button, and it says you can enter the Voyage dungeon. So I guess that's what we're calling it now, guys. Voyage dungeons. If you go into Joe Ferrero, you're used to going into the Forgotten Lands, to abusing it for various reasons, but they've added 3 new dungeons, those being akin to the Arthurian event dungeons that we got, and we'll go through all of them and show off what it is. But basically, depending on your mercenary level, which, by the way, coincidentally, I have my mercenaries have returned. Let's just see how much rewards we get for that, by the way. I got a Thunder Patras card and a bunch of refined terranium. Took 25 days for that. Anyway, I'm not going to bitch about that, but depending on your Explorer Club level, which is the attribute, you can get an extra run of the Joe Ferrero. That's the Joe Ferrero Voyage entrance. I got +2, and you get that actually at level 16, and I think you actually get it at 10. So 10 and 16, you get an extra entry into the Voyage. So how the Voyage works, there are 3 dungeons, as you guys saw earlier, and normally you have 6 entries per week. Unless you're like me and you have the Explorer level high enough, you can actually get extra entries. Now, each individual dungeon, there's 3 of them, can only be entered a maximum of 3 times. So depending on your entry counts, you know, there is 9 possible entries. You've got to divvy up how many entry counts you have, because without the expanded mercenary system, you only get 6. So you've got to choose, you know, okay, maybe I want 3 here, 1 here, and 2 here. Well, however you got to work it out. But I have 8 entries, meaning that one of these I can't do 3 times. What they give, though, is right there on the loot table, and that's really the benefit of these dungeons. So if that's all you wanted to know what these Voyage dungeons are about, that's what this dungeon gives. We'll go in order, though, guys. For instance, there's no difficulty. There's no really anything you got to set. It's just going to put you into the dungeon now. As far as I saw, these dungeons are not very hard. I have my hell mode farming stuff on right now, so I'm not as strong as normal, but this dungeon is not very hard. But I would say that I would only go on here on characters that can do this, that can get some use out of the items, right? So I'm doing this on my knight, but the boss here actually, I think this is who is this right now? What boss is? Oh, Lancelot. Lancelot here drops powerful energies, so only go on this character, since powerful energies are not tradable. Only go on this character with a character who actually needs to refine their weapons. So, you know, I'm just mentioning it's not that hard to do, and if you're max level or something, it shouldn't be that hard. Obviously, I went in here in 1 second, but you get, let's count them, 50. So you get 50 powerful energies. That's 10 stacks of 5, and you can, again, you have the option to do this 3 times a day. Personally, I'm not doing this dungeon very much, but I'm going to do it one more time just for the sheer fact that I have 8 entries, and so I'll be able to go in here twice, and then I'll be able to go to the next 2 dungeons a couple of times. So, like I said, this is not necessary. If you only have 6 entries, for instance, maybe you don't need the powerful energy, so you can skip this dungeon and do the other 2, because you got 6 total, and you can only go into each, again, a maximum of 3 times. Just trying to remind you guys on what the situation is on the entry count. So keep that in mind, and you should be fine. So I'm going to enter here twice. Plan for it. I'm going to enter here twice. Get my 50 powerful energies. Okay. So it is consistently 50. Get my 50 powerful energies and go on my way. So I still have 6 entries left. Now, these are, again, weekly dungeons. They actually reset on the weekly reset, which, by the way, is on Tuesday. Usually we only have updates on Tuesday or Monday night. And so just keep that in mind, that you have until the week to get all of these clears done. And that's should be just something you should, it doesn't take very long to do, so I know it's a weekly dungeon, but it's just something you have to remember to do. The Inner Castle, though, this dungeon is probably the one that really needs explaining, because this dungeon has 2 different, like, forms. Hopefully I am able to get this one, but this is the standard one. It's just the 5 rooms, and you go straight to the boss, and when you kill the boss, it's going to be dropping a bunch of, well, kind of like a random amount. It's going to give you some amount of rare souls, some amount of unique souls, and a legendary soul. So I think it could give you up to 2 unique souls and, like, you know, maybe 3 rare souls and only 1 legendary soul. Now, this dungeon is special because sometimes you might get a bonus room, and I got it this time. That bonus room is the rabbit. So the rabbit can spawn sometimes, and when you kill him, I believe he always drops a legendary, an extra legendary soul. You just gotta remember to actually go down that path. He's right there, so don't forget to go down there. Then you will have a very quick and easy kill on the rabbit. Obvious homage to Monty Python. And here we'll fight the boss again. Let's see what the drops are. So I got, again, three rare souls, 1 unique soul. Okay, so that seems to be... No, I got 2 unique souls this time. Okay, so I got 3 rare, 2 unique, and 1 legendary. So the unique don't seem to be very consistent. Either way, you should be getting at least 1 legendary soul and 1 unique soul from the boss. And we got the rabbit again. So I don't know what the rate is. The first week that I did this dungeon, I got the rabbit 3 times in a row. But obviously now, so I got them. I don't know what the percentage is. It seems pretty high, though, on getting the rabbit. So we get a few extra legendary souls out of this. And these souls are very useful, especially if you're trying to craft, like, re-roll using Sirius Compound System. You can re-roll gear into another legendary if you have, like, a throwaway legendary. So this is a very efficient way to get legendary souls. So I've done that 3 times. You'll see the retry button. It does not allow me to go in any more times for this week. So I've already done this twice, 3 times. I'm going to go finally into the Underground Castle, which is our last dungeon of the Voyage dungeons, I guess. And if you just remember how the dungeons were when we had our Arthurian sets and the events that went with it, though this is basically the same layout of that dungeon. It's just a little bit truncated, but you had to kill these statues, you had to go to both sides and do it, you know. It's kind of a hassle. I guess it's kind of nice I have my football shoes on so I can run a lot faster, but just take these all out. And like I said, the mobs themselves seem to be, at least to me, pretty trivial. The gear shouldn't be an issue. I mean, I know not everybody has to be as geared as my knight, but you do get, I don't know how many invites you get. Let's see. So you get 35 invites. That's pretty good considering you can do this 3 times a day. Or sorry, 3 times a week. So you get, you know, 35, 105. You get 105 invites per week for free. There is nothing that you have to pay to enter into these dungeons, by the way. So that is for free. I guess it's up to you now, guys, to really just weigh what kind of things are useful to you. I would say, personally, the powerful energies should be maybe the least concern, because I feel like there are other ways to get those very easily. Whereas the demon invites, you know, you got to do kind of harder content to get. Same thing with the legendary souls and the unique souls. Getting a surplus of those is not the easiest thing in the world sometimes, especially not as consistent as it is powerful energy. So in my opinion, I would say the souls especially and the demon invites are probably the 2 things that I would focus on when you're doing your Voyage dungeons, and especially if you only have a certain amount of entries. These dungeons do not require any FP to go into, so there's no consideration there. They're just like the Forgotten Lands dungeon, so they're just extra content that just, if you're out of FP on your character, or if, you know, at some point during the week, don't forget to go in here, because this is like free stuff, guys. Literally free stuff. You just go in here and redeem it. It takes not even a minute to do, and you just got to do it once a week, so no excuse, really. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to show off the Voyage dungeons, because this is not, again, like I said, not something that was heavily focused, and it's just like a new feature, and it's just an excuse to give us free stuff. Like these legendary souls, I don't have very many of them right now, but because of these past couple weeks, I've just been doing that, and I've gotten 8 or so, you know, 9. So you need quite a bit to convert your legendaries into other legendaries, and that's just a great way to get them. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. There was a little bit of the Voyage dungeons. Just wanted to show that off in case you had no idea, because trust me, it went under the radar, it feels like. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you nights later.